Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today, our group would like to present our group assignment which entitled Daisuke. Before we continue, let's proceed to our group members. Without wasting any minutes, let's proceed to our contents. First of all, we have resident status, employment income, business income, partnership, industrial building allowances, and finally, personal income. Let's start our presentation with the resident status.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shazwani binti Muhammad Nur Aimi. Today, I would like to present Daisuke's resident status for the year of assessment 2022 to 2025. The resident status is determined based on the number of days he stayed in Malaysia and the relevant sections under the Income Tax Act 1967. For the year of assessment 2022, Daisuke stayed in Malaysia from 16 July 2022 until 28 August 2022, which was a total of 44 days. Since he stayed in Malaysia for less than 182 days, he is classified as a non-resident. For the year of assessment 2023, Daisuke stayed in Malaysia from 1st October 2023 until 31st December 2023, which was a total of 92 days. Although he stayed for less than 182 days, he is classified as a resident under Section 7, Subsection 1, Paragraph B, because his period of stay is linked to a continuous period of residence. For the year of assessment 2024, Daisuke stayed in Malaysia from 1st January 2024 until 18 May 2084. He then had a temporary absence from 19 May until 31st May 2024 before returning to Malaysia from 1st June until 30 September 2024. Since his total period of stay exceeded 182 consecutive days, he is classified as a resident under Section 7, Subsection 1, Paragraph A. Finally, for the year of assessment 2025, Daisuke stayed in Malaysia from 10 March 2025 until 30 June 2025, which was a total of 113 days. Since he stayed in Malaysia for less than 182 days and did not satisfy any of the resident tests, he is classified as a non-resident. In conclusion, Daisuke was a non-resident for the year of assessment for 2022 and 2025, while he was a resident for the year of assessment 2023 and 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Shazwani. Now I will present the computations of Daisuke's statutory employment income for the year of the assessment 2025. First, under Section 13, Subsection 1, Paragraph A, the taxable employment income includes salary, travelling allowance after assumptions, attendance allowance, childcare allowance after assumption, bonus and share option. The travelling allowance is exempted to 6,000, while the childcare allowance is exempted to 3,000. The share option benefit is 3,000. Therefore, the total employment income under this section is 135,400. Next, under Section 13, Subsection 1, Paragraph B, benefit income includes furniture, company cars, driver, lift passage, and fitness membership. The Langkawi lift passage and dental treatment are exempt from tax. Therefore, the total benefit in kind is Rm 19,216. Under Section 13, Subsection 1, Paragraph C, the value of the living accommodations is calculated based on the tax rule, and the taxable amount is Rm 10,200. Under Section 13, Subsection 1, Paragraph D, there is no taxable amount because the employee contribution, employer contribution, and interest earned are all nil. After adding all the taxable employment income, the gross employment income is 164,816. Finally, after deducting the allowable expenses of Rm 26,600, the statutory employment income is Rm 138,260.
Next, I will present the computation of Brown Enterprise statutory business income for the year of assessment 2025. First, we start with the net profit of 268,700 ringgit. Next, we make the necessary tax adjustment. We add back drawings of 12,500 ringgit because drawing are personal expenses and not tax deductible. We then deduct other income, which includes the gain on disposal of machinery of 5,000 ringgit and interest income of 3,500 ringgit, as these are not included as business income. After that, we add back non-allowable expenses. First is depreciation of 9,500 ringgit because depreciation is not deductible for tax purpose. It will later be replaced with capital allowance. For entertainment expenses, both the Sabah trip and the annual dinner for employees and clients are fully allowable, so no adjustment is required. Next is remuneration. For Daisuke, the salary of 20,000 ringgit, bonus of 1,500 ringgit, allowance of 2,500 ringgit, and EPF contributions of 6,000 ringgit are all added back because Daisuke is the owner of the business and remuneration to the owner is not tax deductible. For normal employees, Salahuddin, no adjustments is needed because his remuneration is fully allowable. For the disabled employees, Dahlia, the salary is 11,500 ringgit, bonus of 2,000 ringgit, and allowance of 1,000 ringgit are also allowable, so no adjustment is required. For EPF, the maximum allowable contribution is 11,875 ringgit, while the actual contribution is only 7,500 ringgit. Since the contribution does not exceed the allowable limit, no adjustment is needed. Next is insurance. The insurance premium for Brown Enterprise property is allowable. However, the medical insurance premium of 8,600 ringgit is not deductible and there is therefore added back. For professional fees, the tax penalty of 5,200 ringgit and the legal fee for breach of contract 6,200 ringgit are both non-allowable expenses, so they are added back. For remaining and maintenance, the general maintenance expenses of 1,200 ringgit for the Hilux is allowable. However, the replacement of the manual door glass with automatic glass door costing 4,000 ringgit 600 is a capital expenditure, so it's added back. Lastly, for bad debt, the loss on advance to an employee of 1,300 ringgit, bad debt written off of 2,900 ringgit, and the increase in general provision 10,000 ringgit are all added back because they are not allowable deducted. The total non-allowable expenses added back amounted to 23,000 ringgit, giving a total adjustment figure of 370,000 ringgit. After deducting the other income of 23,000 ringgit, the adjustment business income is 347,700 ringgit. Finally, we deduct the capital allowance of 120,185 ringgit, resulting in the statutory business income of 227,550 ringgit. That is all for my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Dini Kwan bin Hafil. Now I will present the partnership income competition for Daisuke partnership. The partnership recorded a net profit of 54,060 ringgit. To determine the taxable income, we first made several tax adjustments. Firstly, we add back the non-allowable expense, which is depreciation of 4,500 ringgit. Then we also add back the partnership private expenditure, including partner salaries, interest on capital, because these are not deductible business expenses. After this adjustment, the provisional adjusted income is 119,705 ringgit. Next, we deduct the partnership private expenditure, which include total salaries, drawings and interest on capital amounting to 62,195 ringgit. Therefore, the visible income is 57,510 ringgit. The divisible income is then distributed according to the profit sharing agreement. For the first 5 months, it is shared between Daisuke, Leona and Karen based on the old ratio. For the last 7 months, the profit is shared between Leona, Karen and Amirul based on the new ratio after the partnership change. Finally, after adding each partner salaries, the interest on capital and deducting capital allowance, the total income for each partner is Daisuke 38,920 ringgit, Leona 89,295 ringgit and 50 cent, Karen is 65,036 ringgit and 50 cent, and Amirul 62,258 ringgit. In conclusion, the partnership first calculates the divisible income, then allocates it to each partner based on the agreed profit sharing ratio to determine each partner taxable income.
Thank you. So my name is Ada Effendi bin Mija and I will be presenting my part, which is the Industrial Building Allowance or IBA for Daisuke. So Industrial Building Allowance or IBA is a tax incentive provided to business that construct or purchase qualifying industrial buildings such as factories. The purpose of this allowance is to reduce the company taxable income by allowing certain capital expenditure to be claimed over several years. For this case, the factory buildings incur a total qualified expenditure of RM733,000, which consists of architect fees amount to RM28,000, cost of preparing plans RM22,000, construction cost of factory warehouse RM650,000, and the installation of water and electricity RM33,000. So the total qualifying expenditure here is RM733,000. However, only 88% of the building is used as a factory, while the remaining 50% is used as an administrative office. Since only the factory area qualify for industrial building allowance, the qualifying business expenditure is reduced to RM632,050. For the year assessment 2025, the company is entitled to claim on initial allowance of 10%, amounting to RM62,305, followed by annual allowance of 3%, amounting to RM80,692. After these deductions, the remaining residual expenditure is RM542,053, which can be carried forward for future allowance claims. Next, for the machinery section, the total cost is RM360,000, which includes RM275,000 for site preparations and RM85,000 for heavy machinery. Since the site preparations cost represent more than 75% of the total cost, it qualifies as qualifying building expenditure under the tax rules. Therefore, the company can claim an initial allowance of 20% and annual allowance of 14%, leaving residual expenditure of RM181,500. So, I think that's all for my part. I will pass to the next presenter, which is for personal income. Thank you.
Good day everyone, today I will be presenting the computation of personal income tax liability for Daisuke for the year of assessment. First, let's look at Daisuke's sources of income under section 4A. He has a business income with an adjusted income of ringgit. Next, under section 4B, he earned employment income with a salary of ringgit. Under section 4C, Daisuke does not receive any dividend or interest income, so both amounts are nil. Moving on section 4D, he received a rental income of ringgit after deducting allowable expenses such as a roof repair of ringgit and quick rent of ringgit. The net rental income is ringgit. The installation of water heater is a capital expense, so it's not deductible. He also received royalty income of ringgit. After claiming the royalty tax exemption of ringgit, the taxable royalty income is ringgit. By adding all these sources of income together, Daisuke aggregate income is ringgit. Next, we deduct the current year business loss of ringgit and approved donation of ringgit. This gives him a total of income ringgit. After that, Daisuke claimed several tax relief, including lifestyle relief, disabled individual relief, personal relief, child relief, medical insurance, medical expense, EV charging facility, and sport equipment. The total relief claim is 54,000 ringgit. After deducting this relief, Daisuke chargeable income is 216,716 ringgit. Finally, let's calculate the income tax payable. The tax for the first 250,000 ringgit is 46,900 ringgit. The remaining 10,760 ringgit is a tax at 25%, which equal 2,690 ringgit. Therefore, Daisuke total net income tax payable is 49,519 ringgit. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for attention.